K what? K what? K swap! If you're excited about this K swap, then like, comment, subscribe, and smash that bell so you can get all the notifications on all the new videos. We're starting a K-swap. First time we've ever done a K-swap. It's gonna be long and grueling, but it's gonna have step-by-step details, and because it's our first time, we're going to be hopefully coming across all the common challenges that K-swaps bring, and together, hopefully we can show you how we overcome those challenges. 2000 CX hatchback, and we got a 2002 Acura RSX K20 engine that's going into this hatchback, and we're using the 1994 Civic subframe, and that's with the lower control arms also on it, which have sway bar mounts. And we're gonna go through every detail as the series continues, so just follow along. And if you forget something, come back to the video and hopefully we have the answer there for you. Episode 1 on the K-swap. We're gonna get that engine and transmission out of there. Are we going up or are we going down? We don't know, because it's our first time. Let's get started. We're gonna open our hood as open as we can, so all the way up, because we're probably gonna attempt to pull it out. And Dax does say that he sees a lot of guys lower it, but I think we're gonna give it a shot pulling it out with the normal cherry picker. Now we're just gonna disconnect the battery, negative first, and then positive. We're just gonna get this battery right out of the way and leave the battery tray. We got lots of electrical connectors running down there, right in behind this fuse box. And we're gonna use an 8mm to actually get our power wires off of our fuse box. We're going to use a 12mm to remove the 3 bolts that hold your battery base on. And just a couple wiring harness holders. Get popped out. So that comes. Follow me. Gotta pop off this push pin from up here, and there's another one right down here that can probably just pull out. Pop the 2 push pins out and just pop out this way. It's got a few hooks that hold it into your foot trim. And here is the location of the ECM, which we will not be using in the K-swap. And for now, we're going to disconnect the harness so we can pull it out with the engine. This is the harness coming through the firewall. Looks like this green connector. I'm just gonna push that in, pull that out. And then on the bottom here, looks like we got at least 2 connectors. Blue, push in and pull out. And same with the black one, push in, pull out. So those are the 3 connectors that go to our engine. Out she comes. Might be nice to feed it through from the inside. You can watch it come through. Open up that guy and slide it right off. And now our harness from our ECM, our main wiring harness. We got one push pin from the fuse. Right there. And we are free. We might not be able to do this in steps, but next we're just gonna get this intake resonator and air box out of here. Just a 10 mil, just a bushing pin. Straight up. Pop this off to see where we're coming from. Pop off the intake air temp sensor. We're just pulling and wiggling. Okay, so you don't need to pull and wiggle this off. There is a little 8 mil hose clamp. It's more like a, I don't even know what you want to call that, a band. You loosen that and the whole thing should come off. Now we can access some other parts to the engine. This is the D16Y7, which does have a different intake setup. So if you do have a different engine, if you have a D16Y5 or Y8, the intake setup is slightly different, but it should come apart fairly self-explanatory, hopefully. And now we're gonna just disconnect the other engine harness right over here. Pop it off for now. Next, we're gonna go into the fuel system. I'm just gonna disconnect our banjo bolt up here for the fuel feed. They tell you to relieve the pressure. Let's find out how much pressure is actually in there. Just gonna cover it with a rag. Already bled out. Just a banjo bolt, a couple copper washers on that bad boy. We plugged the fuel, which we believe is a filter. Now I'm just going to pop off this evap purge hose, and right down underneath your brake master cylinder, we have our fuel return hose, super low pressure. Just gonna pop off this clamp if we can. Take it right off of up by the intake here, because that is easier done. Since we're right here, we're just gonna pop off the vacuum line that goes to your brake booster. Okay, now we're just gonna pop off our throttle cable by loosening the lock nut. This is the lock nut, and that would be the adjusting nut. 12 mil. We're gonna get this right out of here. It's around, all the way around the cable. And then just slide out like that. We're just gonna pop off the battery positive to the starter. And that's just a 12 mil. This just comes off the same way. All of these guys come off. Since we're working with so much wiring, not very much at all, we're gonna get our ground straps off. This one just goes from the engine block to the body frame. If you happen to have power steering or air conditioning, you could also get that removed. Pull your power steering pump off, I believe. Turbo AC unit, and probably would likely just have a shop remove the refrigerant from your AC, and that way you can break the lines however you need, and just make sure you plug those lines so that you don't get moisture into your receiver dryer or your whatever your desiccant is in that system. We do not have power steering, we do not have air conditioning, so we're just gonna continue on. One other thing this vehicle does not have is a automatic transmission, which means we do not have a transmission cooler. So usually you'd want to disconnect those cooler lines and plug them when you're dealing with your radiator hoses and stuff, which is what we'll be doing very shortly. Since we are doing a K-swap, we can just disconnect the line on the clutch right up here. Just remember that this is brake fluid in here, so it is, will destroy your paint. We're gonna be doing all new paint in the engine bay anyways, but if you aren't doing that and your car is pristine already, just make sure that you wash it down with some water if you do get brake fluid anywhere. So yeah, we're just gonna disconnect that and fold it out of the way. Gets a whole new clutch system when we get the K in there. 12 mil. Just like all brake lines, you ideally want to clean up behind where the nut's going to be going. You might need to heat it too if your car is really corroded so that you don't break the line, but this is a K-swap, so we don't need this line anyways. Why am I talking? Good practice, baby. There comes our fluid. Clutch fluid. And just a 10 mil right here to remove your transmission ground. Okay, we've pretty much done most stuff from above. Now we're just gonna take off our splash guards and whatever else is underneath here. Drain our tranny and drain our engine oil and our coolant. And we will show you how to do that and then get back at it. Push pin up on the side. Oh, this thing doesn't, we're taking it all off. This thing needs, it's a K-swap, man. It's a K-swap. Keep telling myself it's a K-swap. There's a 10 mil axle. 3 10 mil bolts. The rest are just 10 mil push pins. We're going to start with a coolant drain. It just has like a peacock right here. And once you turn it out far enough, the stream comes out of there. Should have pulled her rat cap off. Oops. Don't forget to take off your radiator cap or else you don't get flow. Oil cap can help also. Drain the engine oil. Gonna drain the tranny fluid, and we're gonna remove the fill for a higher flow, and you probably want to loosen instead of tighten it. That's your fill right up by your CV shaft, and then your drain's just a 3/8 square drive. And we're gonna have to remove our drive axles, CV axles out of the transmission. So we're gonna pull our wheels off. Now we're just gonna plug up all of our holes so that we're not leaking fluid when the engine's sitting wherever it's gonna be sitting. Whoop-whoop. Just gonna pull off the lower rad hose. You can get any more coolant out of here. Oh, there's the nice socket. Dry as a bone. Dry as a bone. Since it's a K-swap, we're just gonna remove our pin that holds the one shift linkage on. It's a roll pin. And then this bolt here, and we're gonna come over to the actual shifter also and remove the steady bushing and the shifter arm attached to the shifter, and just get that baby right out of there because we're gonna be using the one from the RSX anyways. Let's do that. I popped it off the wrong side, this boot. You wanna pop it off the shifter rod side, and that's where you're gonna get this, got this little C-clip that holds, pop that off. Come on, baby. This guy, and then right up in there, we're just gonna punch that roll pin straight out the top. This is just a roll pin punch. I think we damaged the seal when we did the tranny a while back from doing this, so maybe you want to support it if you're reusing this tranny, but we're not. We can't. And then that just slides right off, like that. Pull that bolt out, and that will just come down. Now we're just gonna detach it from up here. And it's just a 12 mil on the shift rod. And looks like it's a bolt and a nut. Might I wanted to crack these before. Well, it wasn't hanging here. We're pulling the exhaust anyway, so maybe we should have pulled the exhaust first. There's one rod. Let's just see what this does for us. First thing you could have done is try to take off your tight asking. First thing you want to do is take off this. Oh, there it goes. Hey, come then, they want to go home. What do we got? One hanger. Where's the hanger here? Where's the hanger here? Just right there. And we're just gonna pop these bad boys off. And we just have one hanger over here. Bye-bye. Beautiful exhaust. Get rid of this thicker, eh? Just got two rubber hangers. Use a pry bar for that one. And then this one, but also use a pry bar again. Maybe. Let's go in there like that. There we go. That's her. Let's get digital. Now we're gonna get our CV shafts out, so we're gonna undo our ball joints. And I believe on this side, just with the amount the ball joint, or the upper ball joint has, we're able to get the CV shafts out far enough. I mean, we don't use these CV shafts on the K-swap anyways, so we might just tear them right out, but our vehicle also has to roll in and out of the shop often, so we might, I don't know what we're gonna do yet. Pop that out, and then we'll just give this a little jar, like that. Just like so. And now, this side, I believe we've had to do it just to get the tranny out. Let's try it. Get this out, and put this real quick. Jar. Like so. Just like that. Now you can just undo your axle nut, and sometimes these will be stuck in there, so you might need a special puller that bolts up to here. But you're not using the CV shafts anyways, so you can wail on her with a hammer and not have to worry about crushing those threads. 32 mil axle nut. Oh, baby. fits through here. Probably not. Nope. Don't fit that way. Not gonna fit the other way. That one might be a little teased. And it looks like we have to pull off the lower shock mount. I mean, we gotta pull these control arms anyways eventually, but we gotta roll this out tonight. Just so we can bypass the shaft to go through here. 17 mil. Boom. Okay, so just so we can keep our wheel bearings tight, I'm not 100% sure by just rolling it in and out if that would damage them at all. We might even be replacing them, but for now I'm just gonna separate the outer side of the CV shaft so we can at least tighten it back up in there. We'll just have this one section on both sides of the vehicle. So to do that, we just gotta pull our boots off and smash off the end here. Probably just fucking pop the goddamn thing off. Give me some fucking space because we don't care about this. Where's that? A little snap ring on the end of the CV shaft, just like on the inside. There we are. And then we can just bolt this baby up. As you can see, we just disassembled the CV shafts and we have stuck the outer piece in, tightened up the axle nut. We got our ball joint nut back on. Our struts are back attached. Now we can put the wheels on and we'll be able to roll it wherever we need to roll it. Next step will be getting at the motor mounts and tranny mounts. And then we're going to, I mean, really, it does look pretty easy to lower it too. But we have a cherry picker, so we're gonna attempt to lift it out the top first, and let's see how that goes. After speculation, we're going to remove the forward passenger side mount completely and leave all our other mounts attached while it's up, as we can access all the other mounts from the top. Lift it out, that's what we're gonna do. 17 mil bolts hold on to the transmission. We've got 14 mils of this pillow block bushing. Get that out of there. Now we're gonna try, because it still has two upper mounts on a driver passenger and it has the tranny mount on the back. We're gonna just see if we can pull off this entire mount on the front. So basically both forward mounts, because they're the only thing stopping this thing from going up. 15 mil, or no, 14 mil. 4 bolts. So we're gonna get rid of our upper and lower rad hoses. While we're here, we might as well just pull our radiator out of the way, because we're not gonna be using that. Case swap, we have to put the RSX radiator and custom mounts for that. So we're gonna just pull this baby apart right now. So then just pull up on your overflow. Singular 10-minute mount. Broke. Don't forget to disconnect. This is a connector. Just lift her up and out. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. On our heater hoses, we're just gonna chop them off because we're gonna have different setup for the K-swap. Make a mess. That's pretty awesome right there. But can't stop now, can't stop now. So I just hooked up the cherry picker. I just grabbed one of the bolts from the front engine mounts and it came through here. It's got a big enough shoulder on it that's not going through my chain. It slides. And then we're just gonna go around the engine mount over there because that engine mount's gonna stay attached to the engine for now. And we'll see how that picks, but that takes the weight off. Okay, now the engine is being supported by the cherry picker, so we're just gonna go around and start pulling off basically our through bolts. And hopefully we can just lift it up. And if we have to take off other parts, we'll find out at that point. That up, put that up. 17. Mount out. Crush all my fingers. Ow! Knuckles again. Pound for pound. Kickboxing. Why won't you come out of there? Where we have picked it, it is going to fall forward a little bit, but I think we're going to be fine. Hopefully, let's just see. Oh yeah, easily straighten that out. So we're just going to go up a few inches and make sure everything's free. Getting caught on stuff already. Coolant leaking. All right, we just pulled the 2 bolts out that hold this mount on because 3 of them. There's one right on the bottom, right fucking here. Soldier boy, right there, soldier boy. Mount. We're ready to go. Make sure everything's free. Hoses are free. Yeah, we're good. Good. Out comes the D16Y7. In goes the K20. Voila! As we get free of the car, we'll lower it back down for moving around. Just sealing up the heater core, just so stuff doesn't go up in there or whatnot. And then we got our fuel line pinched off for now. I mean, you could cap it however, whatever you want to do. We're just gonna put a little cap on this. Fuel filter's already capped. Put something around your master cylinder if you wanted to for your clutch, but we're gonna be taking the clutch out anyways. Brake lines are still all the same as they were. They're still functional technically. Oh, and I plugged up this hole that goes into your interior for now, just like that. And it's rollable, so we're just gonna put the wheels back on it for now. Call this a day. So we're just gonna leave the vehicle in this state for today. Hope you guys liked episode 1 of this K-swap. We've got the engine out now. Now it's all about cleaning stuff up and painting. Dax is gonna go to town on the engine bay here, and we got subframes and different mounts and everything to install. So first First job, engine out, done. If you like this video, comment down below, subscribe, smash the bell. Thanks for watching. Netfix and build.